Welcome back, everyone. Today I've got a very fun retro deck list for you to go over. This is a deck that I had an idea for before Jetburn, but it was kind of clunky and kind of awkward. But it involves an infinite combo. But then they printed Ryukyu. And Ryukyu says I can do this infinite combo so much easier. The combo piece, we'll get to that. Let's start with our character, Ryukyu, a 6 hand size, 28 health character with the all, earth, and life symbols. This is going to be an all symbol deck. She has a response. After you play a card, if it has no abilities, draw one card, and you may add one card from your hand to your momentum. This is the key part that allows this, infinite combo to work. Because in the old version, I was using the old rando card reduction to try to gain momentum quickly, but that is a 1-speed mid-move that has to deal damage in order to gain your momentum. So the fact that she gains momentum for free is incredibly important to how this strategy goes. She also has an enhance, discard 1 momentum, your attack with no abilities gets +4 damage. We don't care about that. Let's go on to her attacks. We have Dragon Crash. This is a 4 difficulty, 3 control, 3 low for 6 with a +1 low block. It's got charge and slam keywords. It's a blank attack. Pretty simple. Next we have Dragon Dive, a 4 difficulty, 3 control, 6 high for 4 with a +1 high block, fury and slam keywords. Also a blank attack. Next up we have Dragon Impact. This is her ultra rare from Jetburn. A 4 difficulty, 2 control, 2 high for 5 with a +1 mid block. It's got charge, powerful 2, and combos with an attack. So the card immediately preceding Dragon Impact in your card pool has to be an attack card. The combo enhance is if the card preceding this attack has no abilities, add it to your hand. Easy recursion. We've seen this in normal Jetburn Ryukyu being incredibly dangerous. Then we have Pro Hero Enhance. We are a Pro Hero. Discard 1 momentum, commit your rival's character. Pretty simple. Also not necessary. Then it has Deadlock Enhance, draw 2 cards, and flip 2 rival foundations. This deck is designed to pop off on turn 2, turn 3 at the latest, and you will be killing your rival, hopefully, in 1 turn. So, not letting them get to deadlock. Then we have Dragon Strike, a 5 difficulty, 3 control, 5 mid for 5 with a +2 mid block. It's got EX2 and Powerful 2. It has response. After you play this card, selectively flip 1 rival foundation, then seal this card, which treats it as having no abilities, allowing you to trigger Ryukyu's response and the combo on Dragon Impact. Then we have Deadlock Response. After you play this card, add the top 2 cards of your deck to your momentum. Again, our rival's not going to survive to get into deadlock unless they go first, build 5, and then go second, build 6. On their next turn, build 6. Not happening. Then lastly, we have Ei Giri. This is an old Bishamon card. It's a 4 difficulty, 3 control, 5 low for 5 weapon attack with no abilities. And the key, the linchpin to this whole strategy is the asset Scarlet Thunder. This is a 2 difficulty, 5 control asset with a +3 low block. It's got unique and weapon, so you can only have 1 copy of Scarlet Thunder in your stage at a time. It has a Sung Mina enhance, which we're going to ignore because our name isn't Sung Mina. But it has enhance, discard 1 momentum. If your non-throw attack deals damage, add 1 other card from your card pool to your hand. Here's the loop. So say your rival has no cards in hand, or they're just tapped out, they're not going to block anything. You play your 4 difficulty blank move. Then you discard 1 momentum as your enhance. If your next attack deals damage, or if this attack deals damage, so say we've already played a Dragon Dive. Now we play Ei Giri on a 5. Check our 5, moving on. We discard a momentum with Scarlet Thunder. If our Ei Giri deals damage, we pick up Dragon Dive, which we can then play on a 5, check our 5, draw a card with Ryukyu, put a card into our momentum, To fuel Scarlet Thunder again, discard our momentum. This time if Dragon Dive deals damage, we can pick up the Iaigiri. Rinse, repeat, you loop 2 attacks infinitely. Now, the trouble is if your rival blocks, like completely blocks, you're boned a little bit. But if you can skirt your rival's blocks, or, you know, if you are lucky enough to get Scarlet Thunder on turn 1, and turn 2 you have 2 attacks, and you went first, and your rival maybe only built 4 and has maybe 2 or 3 cards in hand, you can definitely loop this out. It's really cool. Then, of course, we have 2 Capture Evildoers here. It's a 2 difficulty, 5 control action, +1 mid-block, breaker 1. It says enhance, remove 1 rival momentum. If you did, add the top card of your deck to your momentum, remove this card from the game. Another good way to generate momentum. This is banned in Standard. It is not banned in Retro. Then we also have Form, discard 1 momentum. Clear up to 3 cards from your card pool. So this allows you to clear your card pool, continue playing attacks if you've drawn into more attacks and you haven't been able to clear using Scarlet Thunder. The great thing about Ryukyu's response is you can play it on non-attack cards as well. So if you play number 10 Pro Hero, as you're building during your turn or something, you can draw a card, add a card to your momentum. This also works with Lab Assistant, which is a 2 difficulty, 6 control, +2 mid-block, blank foundation, and Naivete, which is a 1 difficulty, 5 control, +2 low-block foundation that is blank. So with these, because you have 4, 3, and 4, as you're playing them for your first turn, like say you went second, and you build these blanks, you can start your next turn, the turn you want to attack, with momentum to fuel Scarlet Thunder. And that is nutty. I love it. But other foundations, we have Dragon Power, a 1 difficulty, 5 control, +2 mid-block. It says enhance, your attack with no abilities gets 1 speed, further pushing, Dragon Dive up to 7 speed, Iaigiri up to 6 speed, pushing your attacks through a lot easier to guarantee that you get the hit with Scarlet Thunder. Discard after you've discarded your momentum, pick up your other attack, play your attack, draw a card, get a momentum, discard the momentum, that deals damage, pick up the attack, rinse, repeat, and as long as you're checking your 5s, or like not checking too badly, you can loop 2 cards until your rival is dead. We have Vast Strength here, a 2 difficulty, 4 control, +3 mid-block. It says response remove, after an attack is played, it loses all non-keyword abilities. We don't have to worry about that. But we do have this Ryukyu Form, remove, discard 1 momentum, add 1 printed powerful attack from your card pool to your hand. Only 1 copy of this ability may be played this turn, but it's good for picking up Dragon Impact, if we didn't pick it up with Scarlet Thunder. So with Scarlet Thunder and Dragon Impact, that's a good way to get 2 cards cleared out of your card pool if need be. So say 1 attack was blocked, you play your Dragon Impact to pick it up anyway, play it, and then when you discard your momentum with Scarlet Thunder, you can pick up the Dragon Impact, play Dragon Impact, pick up that attack again, so you can continuously loop still. We have Chivalrous Competitor here, a 1 difficulty, 5 control with a +3 low block. Enhanced Flip, both players draw a card. This is mainly to help us draw more attacks if need be. But also response before one of your foundations would be destroyed or flipped due to a rival's non-character effect. Flip this foundation instead. There are some foundations we want to protect. We have It Can't Be Fixed, a 0/5 with a +1 high block. It says response flip, after you commit any number of cards due to your rival's effect, build the top card of your deck face down, playable while committed. This is mainly here if our rival goes first and they have some stun, but it's also a +0, it's a 0 difficulty foundation. We want a very big first build turn so that we can go into our first attack turn with hopefully Scarlet Thunder on board and maybe 4 or 5 foundations so we can loop our attacks really quickly. We got Destined for Mainstream Success, a 1/5 with a +2 mid-block. says enhance flip, name a card type, reveal the top card of your deck. If the card matches that type, add it to your hand. This is mainly for ripping attacks off the top of your deck, so you're avoiding bad checks throughout your kill turn. Next up is Hiding in Plain Sight, a 2/5 with a +3 high block. It says enhance, add this card to your momentum. If your rival is at Desperation, or less than half of their printed health, add the top card of your deck to your momentum. So this is just some quick momentum generation if need be, in case for some reason our rival has something on board that can reduce our momentum or prevent us from adding cards to our momentum. This is just a bit of snap momentum, just as a one-of. It's kind of cheeky, kind of fun. True Identity. This is one that we really want to dig for, and I'd probably put 3 as opposed to 2 in the main deck, just because we want to see it turn 1. It's a unique, so you can only have 1 in your stage at a time. But it's a 2/5 with a +3 mid block. It has a rando enhance that we're not going to worry about because our name's not rando. But it has a first form commit. I know this one says form, but I built this before the Yu Yu Hakusho reprints, so I haven't added the fancy one yet. But it is a first form commit, so the first thing you do after drawing your hand, your checks to play attacks get +1 for the rest of the turn. So your 4s always become 5s, your 3s become 4s, so when you're checking on 5... Excuse me. So when you're checking on 5, you only have to commit 1 foundation. It basically makes your kill turn, your first attack turn, hopefully, so much easier. So if you can get True Identity and Scarlet Thunder in your first hand, you're good to go. Keep that hand, you're golden. We have Wandering Pirate. This is a fun one. It's a 2/4 with no block. It's got unique, so you can only have 1 of it on the field at a time. It has a static after your opponent's combat phase begins, ready this foundation. That's cool. And then it has a response twice per turn. After this foundation is readied or committed, ready 1 other foundation that has not been readied this combat phase, and it is playable while committed. So if you commit it to pass a check, you can ready 1 other foundation that you haven't readied yet. That's pretty solid, especially for keeping your strings going, and making sure that sometimes your foundations count for 2. Really cool to run that when True Identity was still a form instead of a first form. You could ready it with Wandering Pirate, commit it again, all of your checks get +2 for the turn, you're golden. I've already went over Lab Assistant and Naivete. These are just more blank foundations that you want to play. Really cool. Then we have Feifei, a 1/5 with a +3 low block. It says enhance flip, this attack gets -3 speed. Some people, if you're going first, like to throw down on turn 1 in retro. It happens, so this is just a way to guarantee you don't die in one of those first turn kills. And then we have the Key to Humanity's Freedom, a 2/5 with no block. It says enhance remove, add 1 asset that you could normally play from your discard pile to your staging area, or your stage. Destroy that card during the end phase. If you check Scarlet Thunder, or if you have it in your hand, but you've built a Key to Humanity's Freedom, you can review it, and then remove Key to Humanity's Freedom to build Scarlet Thunder from your discard pile so you can use it for that turn. As an enhance, unfortunately, but you still do it. And then while it's on board, enhance twice per turn, your attack gets +2 damage, only playable if you have at least 1 asset in your stage. So these are really good to get in case you check your Scarlet Thunder, because in all actuality, you should only need Scarlet Thunder for the 1 turn when you've got 2 attacks that you can loop over and over and over and over. I had taken this to Vegas, fully intending on playing in the retro event, but then I found out that it wasn't a scheduled event, it was a fired event, and I didn't want to just pay my entry fee and wait around for maybe 8 people to be interested in retro. Me and my friend Jared decided to just go enjoy the con instead. But I did play this against his Fresh Cut Grass deck that he took to Vegas, mainly to troll and see how long he could live. We built a really trolly survival deck that focused on pamphlet counters, the instant win for spreading the word. And let me tell you, that thing's annoying. And the only reason I didn't kill him on my first attack turn is because he managed to block 1 attack, giving me consistent progressive difficulty. And Yeah, it was a bit rough because I'd had the key to humanity's freedom, and it wasn't until my second attack that I checked the Scarlet Thunder. So yeah, that was kind of rough. So I was behind the 8 ball, and with that one progressive difficulty, I only had, I think, 4 foundations. I had 4 foundations and Scarlet Thunder, and with that, and checking with +1 progressive difficulty for the rest of the turn, my Ryukyu did 46 damage in 1 turn. 46! That's a 39 health character, and he healed a lot. In fact, I think in my next turn, I ended up killing him by dealing another... Well, granted, he didn't heal that much, but we continued the turn, letting me check and see just how far I could take it. I think I dealt an extra, 30 damage on my next turn. Again, checked kind of bad. But, yeah, this deck is super fun. It's really gimmicky, I'm not gonna lie. You need the Scarlet Thunder. You need at least 2 attacks. But if you can get Scarlet Thunder and at least 2 attacks, and you don't check 3 2s in a row, imagine that, this deck can kill in 1 turn, as long as your rival cannot block you. Of course, you might want to bump the Capture Evildoers up. I kind of just threw it in here just because. But after playing the deck and seeing, oh, if I'm blocked, I'm a little screwed, yeah, it's probably better to bump this up so you can draw those, clear your card pool if need be, keep going. But it's really fun. It's really fun to play. I think I was looping Eigiris because he didn't have any low blocks in hand, so I just kept looping the 2 Eigiris over and over after he blocked a Dragon's Crash because it was only 3 speed. So yeah, he blocked that, and then I just kept throwing Eigiris because he didn't have any low blocks left, and I just chipped him away 5 damage at a time, and it was really, really fun. So, Retro Ryukyu is really nuts, especially on all, when she has access to all of these blank cards. And if you want to, you can use the Deku 5 charge, which is a 5 high 6, I believe. But it's a 5 diff, and the only 5 diff I wanted to run was Dragon Strike. So, yeah, it's really rough. It's a rough cut, but it's one of those decks that once you get the ball rolling, it is almost impossible to stop, and it is really fun. So if you're into retro, this is a cheap, I'll say. I think I got my 2 Scarlet Thunders I needed for the deck for $2 on Rochester, maybe. But yeah, if you wanted to start retro and you're just looking for a pretty easy, pretty simple deck that doesn't require a lot of thought and a lot of combo work, like I said, you will need Scarlet Thunder, you'll need your momentum. But other than that, it's pretty simple. I wouldn't call it mindless, but it is pretty simple. So if you're interested in retro and starting to dip your toe into the most dangerous format that this game has, go ahead and give this one a shot. It's really easy to learn. Like I said, the cards are pretty cheap, and I think you'll have a lot of fun with it. Like I said, especially if you're brand new to retro and you don't have access to all these, $200 cards that are not printed anymore from King of Fighters or something like that, or you're really confused at how some of these bigger combos work, or some of the more complicated strategies or more complicated characters. This is a dead simple infinite loop deck that pretty much anyone can pick up and run. Just read the cards, you'll have a good time with it, and if you do decide to pick this up, go ahead and mess around with it, make it your own, see what kind of cards you would want to run, because I kind of just threw this together because I wanted to. Like I said, I was running Reduction, which gives all my attacks 2 speed and 2 damage while it's in the card pool, and if it deals damage, I gain 1 momentum. And an attack from Ivy from Soul Calibur called Redemption, which always deals 1 damage even if it's fully blocked. So that was how I was getting the Scarlet Thunder. I would get my Reduction, get my momentum, play Redemption, discard the momentum, pick up the Reduction, play Reduction, pray it doesn't get blocked. But by then, a 1 speed, 1 damage move, my rival's onto me, but thanks to Ryukyu constantly giving you momentum at response speed, you don't have to worry about that anymore. She fuels it herself. But if you do decide to pick this up and you give it a try, let me know what you think. Let me know if you have as much fun with it as I did, because it can be absolutely devastating, and I do want to do more retro content. I love looking at all the old cards and seeing just what new fanciful stuff I can build around, but Ryukyu was one of my first MHA retro characters that I wanted to build after my success with Wen from Cowboy Bebop. But when I was looking for, my hero characters to build in retro, Ryukyu was my first. So, with that said, let me know what you think in the comments below, what you think of the deck, what you think of the strategy. If there's another character you think would wear this kit better, or this Scarlet Thunder Infinite Loop better, please let me know. I'd love to see what you guys have come up with. And if you play the deck and enjoy it, feel free to let me know in the comments below. If you like retro, standard, MHA, Spotlight, maybe. We'll talk about that later. Deck content, please subscribe to the channel. I could use all the support I can get. And I will see you in the next time. Take care, guys.